So I started building this firewood shed at the start of winter, and I thought that I would finish it and put all my firewood in here, but that I didn't. I guess I'm just going to start doing a few bits just to start finishing it. I do need more materials, but yeah, let's progress this thing a little bit. I've had to get a more powerful drill to get these in here. These screws are massive. Hey, well that's a decent start. I've been working on improving this increasingly messy kitchen. So I made all of these drawers. These at the top here and a row down here. All I have to do is put in a drawer fronts. And I also made all of these storage boxes to put underneath all of the drawers and the shelves. But before I finish all of that, I'm going to take the opportunity to actually clean everything here. I also have a load of wires in the background, so I'm going to clean all of that up. Start fresh. I've been able to take out 2 of these extension cords, replace them with one, and I can now for the first time in several years use that light again. I did puncture my finger. It was very painful. I scrubbed all of this. Feels really good. First time in years. I can't really put things back yet because obviously I'm still working on the drawer fronts. But I can put the shelves back in. I am so looking forward to reorganizing this kitchen. I can finally make my drawer fronts. I am so happy this is happening. I've got this big piece of ply and I'm going to try and cut it so that it looks continuous. I've got some very happy news. I can finally make these front drawer pieces, finish these kitchen cabinets, fix up my kitchen because I have a new jigsaw. I'm so excited. My jigsaw is the one tool that I've had to replace a few times because I use it so much. So I got this one. The first jigsaw I had was from Biltema, and when I upgraded to a green Bosch one, I really noticed that the Bosch was definitely a lot nicer to use. This time it is so much smoother. It's really nice. I decided to get this barrel shape instead of the normal D handle because I think I quite like it for the way that I use it. Yeah, I did this little test. I figured I need to spend some time trying to figure out how to get the cleanest cut, and it is so smooth. I don't have to do anything. I don't even have to turn the piece around. This is as good as it's going to get with plywood. So these are the two cuts that I made with two different blades, and they are so clean compared to the edge that was done with a different jigsaw. So I'm really excited about this. I am going to cut these drawers. Unfortunately, my cut started a little bit off, but it's a little bit crooked. That's my fault. But other than that, this cut is very smooth. It's very nice. I was very happy until the blade started pulling like to the side, and now this is cut wrong. And I don't know if I have enough plywood to do this now. Oh my god. Okay, let's try this again. Something else is happening here. Now that I'm actually making this, I don't like that the grain is going vertical. So I'm going to make the grain go horizontal, and I should have just about enough pieces to do that. They're not going to match next to each other anymore, but I think this might look better. Let's hope that I will not screw up this cut. I've been cutting excruciatingly slow to minimize mistakes, but so far it's worked. I've got 3, and I have 3 more to do. I've tried to get them all as accurate as possible. They're not perfect, as good as I can get it. I've cut all the pieces. The next step is to stain them, and then I can install them. It's also starting to get really cold. So the drawer fronts for the drawers are going to be made out of ply, but for the storage boxes that will sit underneath the kitchen, I figured I could actually use the shelving which I cut away to make place for the drawers. They would be perfect drawer fronts. They just need to be a little bit more narrow. Cut a little pull out handle thing, and then they'll be good to use. I really like that this wild raspberry started growing here, but it's also getting very big. I think it's taking nutrients away from that plant. So I'm going to trim it a little bit. Okay, now I can access my timber storage again. made a few of my berry trees happy again. Also, something more exciting is that I think I have a badger living in my garden. Because I've been seeing it at night when it's dark, and it's so cute. I saw one last year as well, and I think this one actually lives underneath my shed. There's a little hole dug, and I really think whenever I see the badger, it runs away and it goes towards the shed. So I'm really excited about that. I like making little animal friends. I want to have more of them. I think I should probably celebrate. I finally got this narrow drawer in to a point where I'm okay, happy with it. This has been my nemesis. I put it in initially, it was almost there, it was just a little bit slanted. But it's taken me an entire day to get it in straight enough for me to be happy with. The thing is that there's a bit of a wall build out which shouldn't interfere with the drawer at all. The backside of the drawer sort of sits right next to it. There's like a 3 to 5 mil gap. This entire thing is just a little bit warped. Every time I would slide in the drawer, the top side of the drawer would hit that build out and it would slant the entire drawer. And I kept trying to change the drawer runners, move them up and down by a couple of mil just to make sure that the backside just sat straight. And no matter what I did, it would just make it worse. So basically now, gone back to where the drawer runners were initially, and I've shortened this entire drawer. I cut off the back and I shortened the entire thing so it just sits in front of the wall build out. And it's still a bit wobbly. It's still, once it's in, it does wobble and I try to fix it, I can't fix it. This is what it's going to be. But at least it's done. And that means that it's time to put up the drawer fronts. It's all happening. I spent an entire day cleaning everything down here, and it feels so good that it's now all just clean, ready for a fresh start. I'm mostly excited about getting my living room back. I haven't been in here for the past week because it's just been covered in boxes and food and cups, but I'm finally getting my space back and I'm really looking forward to sitting on my giant sofa again. It looks like I upgraded my kitchen. I put in 6 drawers. The top one's aligned with the cutlery drawer I put in previously, and then I've got 2 bigger ones that I use to store food, and a narrow drawer that will be storing very small things. I have a couple of kitchen machines which I decided to put here. Then I've mostly got some fruit, cups and pans exposed, and everything else is hidden. The one thing that I don't love are these additional storage boxes which I made to sit underneath. I made them so that they would sit back quite a bit so that they wouldn't really be all that visible, but it turns out that you can see them quite well. I don't love that. However, from a practical point of view, I am so happy to have them. I put all of my baking things in this one, but some of the others have drinking bottles, cleaning supplies, Tupperware type things. Having a space for that is really nice. Unfortunately, I also realized that using Multiply in such a simplistic way is quite unforgiving. The boxes I made for the drawers aren't quite perfectly square, and it turns out that the front, these 3 drawers, do not sit flush against each other. This one sits back at the bottom and it makes this gap look a lot bigger than this gap, even though it's not. So this is all very uneven. It's not very nice. However, I decided that I don't care. I'm deciding that everything handmade adds character. So I've got my perfectly imperfect drawers. They do hold so many things and I'm very excited about that. I am so happy that I finally have my living room back. I feel like I haven't been here in weeks. I think I actually haven't been here in weeks because it's been filled with boxes. Drawer boxes I was gluing together, so here I am, instantly confronted with another outstanding project here, which would be cushions. I've been wanting to make cushions forever, and I have been waiting to order these fabric samples, and I finally got them. I'm really hoping that there's something in here that I can use. Yeah, let's have a look at these. I'm gonna take them off this bit of paper and put them on here. When I first made this room, I wasn't quite sure whether I would be sitting here all that often, because usually I'm doing things, but my favourite thing in life is to sit here in the evenings by the fire and read one of my cozy fantasy books. I feel like cozy fantasy books have changed my life. I used to always read literature, but it's been quite a few years since I've read a serious book, and I tried to get back into it because I built this giant bookcase and I don't have anything to put in it, so I decided to get back into reading, and then I could, you know, buy books. But I couldn't quite get into some of the books that I was buying, so I got this book, The Spell Shop, just for the cover because it was so cute, thinking it was going to be a bit childish, and I absolutely loved it. And turns out cozy fantasy is a genre and it's amazing. It makes me so happy. So I just sit here and I just buy cozy fantasy books and I read them. And it's amazing. It's so cute. It's like living in a fairy tale. Okay, so these are not the cheapest fabrics, but they are very nice. So hopefully it will be worth it. I also got these samples because I might get some fabrics to make dresses. So perhaps I'll find myself getting a fabric and making cushions out of it and a dress. And then I can lie in a sofa and just look like my cushions. That will be quite funny. So initially I was thinking about doing a green cushion in here, but I also quite like this pink and yellow one. That's quite cute actually. This is quite nice and rich as well. What is that? So this is quite tricky. I can't quite decide, but what I think I might do is get a couple of different fabrics. Tricky thing is that they're quite expensive, so I can't buy all of them. But then I might just get a couple and then use whichever one feels right for the cushions, and then I can use the others for making clothes. So that might be a good way to do it, I think. I like a lot of them though. I have all of these that I really like. Maybe not that one. I have these. That's a lot of fabrics. I think actually I might like this yellow pink one. I think that might be really cute. Yellow pink one or the green one. I really like this as well. I might actually like this one for the other room that already has cushions, but I might replace those. And I like all of this for clothing.